And slowly it began to dawn on me. It's not just little girls who need to be reminded of their inner beauty. All of us need to be reminded of our worthiness and the power we have to live beautiful lives. It turns out there is a little one in all of us. The little one inside of you is your truest self, the you who existed before things got confusing, before guys started telling you that you had to bring them a sandwich to be interesting, before an industry started telling you that you had to buy a product to be beautiful, before you had to be tough to be enough, before you had to be cool to survive in school. The little one inside of you is the you who is most aware of your worthiness. But it is also your most wounded you, because that little boy or girl was on the front lines when the world started telling you that you weren't enough. Recently, our oldest child, Aiden, who is in middle school, walked up to me and out of nowhere said, "Dad, I wish I could remember what I was like when I was a little kid." When I asked him why, he said, "Because then I'd know who I really am. Middle school takes that away from you." There is a worthy yet wounded little one in all of us. To be honest, the love letters I write to my kids are also love letters to the little kid inside of me. The shame and loneliness and confusion I hope to ease in them are the shame and loneliness and confusion I already carry within me. As I invite my children to awaken to their worthiness, belonging, and purpose, the little one in me slowly reawakens to his own worth, place, and passion. If you're a parent, maybe you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a parent, maybe you know what I'm talking about too. Because we all have a little one inside of us waiting on a love letter. This book is a love letter to my children, but it is also a love letter to myself and to you and to anyone who has a little one inside of them waiting to be whole again. And it's a love letter written in a very specific order because, as a therapist and as a human being who has needed some therapy of his own, I've learned over and over again that a life well lived is like a story well told. It has a certain order and progression to it. The 4 parts of this book reflect that story-like progression, from the backstory through 3 acts: worthiness, belonging, and purpose. The backstory. Over the years, I've come to believe most of what we call life is really just backstory. People, places, and pain that set the scene for our story to really begin. Here, we'll explore the frustrating and fruitless ways we spend our days trying to find worthiness outside of ourselves. And we'll begin to consider a blessed possibility. The time we've spent suspecting we're no good and looking for someone or something that will finally make us feel good enough is all just staging for our first act. It's the dark moment before the dawn of our awakening. Act 1. Worthiness. The first act of life, and of this book, is an invitation to pause, to stop doing and striving and proving, and to become present to ourselves once again. It's a chance to glimpse and to greet the worthy little one who has been living within us from the beginning. It's an opportunity to rest into the soul we've forgotten, this good and beautiful thing we were before life started convincing us we were something else. It's a long and slow embrace of the worthiness we've possessed all along. Act 2. Belonging. Having begun to embrace our true self once again, we begin to make ourselves truly known to the world. In other words, we start risking the loneliness of rejection, because the loneliness of never being authentically known is a far worse fate. Here we will envision how, when we love and live from our true self, our relationships and communities are transformed from places of escalating conflict into places of enduring connection. Here we will envision what it looks like to become unlonely. Act 3. Purpose. The third act of life is made possible by the first 2. Now, with clarity about who we are and support from the people around us, it's possible to spend our days awakening to the passions that have been hibernating somewhere deep inside us all along. Here we will imagine the challenges and opportunities that present themselves when we lean into our worthiness, lean on our people, and choose to do the things we long to do. As you journey through these pages, it's important to approach this book as a love letter, not an instruction manual. It's not about getting from point A to point B so you can retire from the challenges of being human. The progression from worthiness to belonging to purpose is not something that happens once. It happens over and over again. We cycle through it. We write sequel after sequel in this story we call life.